Good morning, everybody. It's Audio Comenius here, and it's a beautiful sunny day. I hope you're all excited to broaden your horizons and celebrate Europe Day. And to start our celebrations, we thought to pose a challenge for our international youth listeners and see how much they actually know about the European Union. So stay tuned, because up next you'll hear correspondents from all over Europe, including experts from Wales and Hungary, talking about the pros of the EU that we all too often forget exist.
Hello everybody!
Hi!
This is Andrea.
And Christoph.
And today with you we are in the So Ask the Teens.
Today we're going to talk about the EU.
And our first contestant is Georgina Smith. Hello Georgina. For you, what is the European Union?
Well, according to my background reading, which I do quite a lot, what was the question again?
What is the European Union?
Well, as everyone knows who has a brain in that little head of theirs, the European Union is an international organization which collaborates together on the same cause.
Thank you so much, Georgina. That was a good beginning. So, the next contestant?
Hello, Alejandro Sanchez. Which countries founded the EU?
Well, I don't know exactly, but I think Mexico must be one of them, because Mexico is very, very bueno.
Excuse me, but Mexico is not in the European Union. Try again.
But, ¿por qué dices eso? Mexico is the most important country in the world.
Good try, but we are going to move on. So, Ashley, when was the European Union founded?
Oh my gosh, guys, why are you asking me such a questions? My nails haven't been polished like 2 days and my hair is really messy. I don't really care.
Apparently, as we can see, not everybody knows about the European Union as much as we have thought. So let's hope our last contestant prove us wrong.
Hello, Charlie. How does the EU help students and youth?
What? I mean, like, what? You serious? I don't care, and I think it helps with nothing. Really nothing.
Okay, today our program was very, very special. So we will try again next Saturday in this channel.
Wait, sorry, as we can see, those idiots know nothing.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We need to educate ourselves about the European Union more. We definitely heard some lively contestants. Unfortunately, it is evident that the majority of teenagers nowadays are not aware of the importance of the European Union and its help in promoting peace through free trade, international cooperation, and Erasmus exchange scheme. Hopefully, after today's special show, our listeners will be much more educated in this area. Let's hear from our lovely correspondents in Spain, who will share their ideas on why they believe peace is one of the most important aspects of the EU. Take a listen.
La ley universal de la locomoción no puede fallar en este momento.
Good morning from our studio in Madrid. We are Radio Comenius, the channel you love. Last week we started talking about Europe, and today we have a new and philosophic question. What do you think about peace? We are going to listen to several opinions by some of our listeners. Okay, we've got the first person. What's your name?
Hello, my name is Carlos, and I'm from Seville.
Welcome to our program. Tell us, what is your opinion about peace?
For me, peace means no wars and equality among people with different cultures, tradition, religion, beliefs.
That's a good definition. We have another call from Marta in Madrid. And you, Marta, do you agree with Carlos?
Hi, of course I do, but from my point of view, the word peace is more complicated to explain. In my opinion, peace is something that has to be everywhere, inside each one of us. Peace is more than a word. In fact, it is the union of several words that are related, such as respect, solidarity, equality, fraternity, tolerance.
Unfortunately, we haven't got more time to talk about this interesting subject, so thank you so much for listening to us and also to Marta and Carlos for your collaboration. Let's head back to Ellie for more incredible Comenius content.
Mr. Price, how, in your opinion, has the EU contributed to long-lasting peace?
I think the EU has been vital for long-lasting peace. The unity between countries was a pivotal moment, really, in Western European history. After the horrors of the Second World War and the Nazi regime before that, I feel that Europe really was crying out for some kind of organisation to unify the peoples of Western Europe, and I think the EU has contributed massively to peace through establishing itself. It's been a real success in that respect.
So what would you think would be some practical examples of EU success?
The first one that springs to mind really is the fact that there aren't any real travel restrictions anymore. The peoples of Europe are encouraged to and given the opportunity to visit various countries, and I think this is really important. I feel that by lifting travel restrictions and establishing greater trade links, we've become less insular as a people, and we are more likely to embrace different cultural approaches and be more respectful of them as well.
So would it be true that, in your opinion, the EU has helped to increase international tolerance between the cultures?
Certainly, I think a greater understanding has been established by the EU. As I mentioned about travel restrictions have been lifted. There's also greater opportunities to work in different parts of the EU, which I think is fundamentally important. And I think this has been very, very successful, despite the criticisms of some maybe right-wing leading parties like UKIP, for example, in Britain.
Exactly. UKIP is a very prominent member of Britain, and it is worrying. So how would you think trade links would help to establish an international community between all of us?
I think the trade links has again made people realise that the opportunities are there for people in Europe to work in different countries. And I think also when they see what people from various parts of Europe have contributed to Britain, I would imagine, I would hope that support for UKIP is a short-term phenomenon. And I think over time people will realise that the European Union has been a very positive part of British economic and social life since the Second World War.
Glad you mentioned that. About financial benefits of the EU, what would be your opinion on them?
Massive financial benefits, really. As I mentioned, trade links are very important because trade promotes stability. And trade promoting stability would mean the dying down of extremism, I think greater prosperity for European countries. More investment in Eastern European countries has been very, very important, particularly after the fall of communism. Countries like Lithuania, Latvia, Poland, to name but a few, have benefited greatly through their involvement in the European Union. But also, as I said earlier, Western European countries have also benefited. Britain has benefited greatly. Wales, for example, where I'm from, has had a great deal of investment from the European Union and has certainly helped to make it more prosperous.
Do you think prosperity is important to maintain the long-lasting peace?
Certainly. I think when people are suffering from poverty, I think they're much more likely to become supporters of extremist ideology. And I feel that when people are more prosperous, they've got a kind of stake in the country, then they're much more likely to support democracy and stable, strong government. So I think it promotes that as well. So yeah, I think prosperity is vitally important for promoting peace. Just looking at the history of Europe, you can see the rise to power of fascism in the 1920s and 30s was certainly linked to poverty. It was one of the main reasons for extremism. And of course, the Russian Revolution in 1917, a big reason for that was because of the massive discrepancies between the rich in Russia and the poverty-stricken. And this certainly fueled the Russian Revolution of 1917.
Talking about the recent issues, Ebola outbreak has been a prominent problem, not only in the EU, but in the whole wide world. How, in your opinion, has the EU helped in this issue?
I think the EU has done very well with the Ebola crisis. A great deal of investment has gone in to provide health professionals in West Africa on the ground. It's very, very important. I think greater education about how to try to avoid catching this terrible illness has been part of the EU policy. And I suppose promoting more political activism from political elites so that they get involved in dealing with the Ebola crisis, which hopefully shows signs of slowing down. So I think the EU has done very well there. Obviously, they could do more, but then all organisations could do more, but certainly is moving in the right direction.
In summary, what would you think would be the key point?
I think the most important thing about how the EU has contributed to peace, there's a few things really. What clearly springs to mind, I think, on a practical level, is the greater trade links and prosperity which the EU has promoted throughout Western Europe initially, and then more latterly through Eastern Europe, so that the countries come together to work together. I think also the fact that European peoples are much less insular than they were in the past, and much more respectful of their cultural and national differences. I think that's very important. And just the lifting of travel restrictions is vital as well, so that we tend to work together better as a European people rather than as a nationality within Europe. I think that has been very positive as well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Price, for enlightening our audioship about the successes of EU in contributing to long-lasting European peace.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andrew Price from Wales, for your historical insight. As we could hear, one of the most important aspects he mentioned was EU's benefit of a true sense of community between the members, and especially free trade. So don't go anywhere. We have managed to get hold of Dr. Lilian Halas, an expert on European Union's foreign policies. I don't know how about you, but let's say I'm not very well educated in that area. So let's hear what Dr. Halas has to say.
Free trade is a common trade policy of all states of the European Union. This means that all regulations in connection with selling or buying goods must be in accordance with the guidelines agreed upon. But this policy is not limited to marketing within the EU. It also determines the way how exterior economic relations are dealt with. Thus, our country doesn't have its own trade policy, but shares one with all EU members. This is why the trade treaties we sign with any country must conform to these common rules. When speaking about free trade, we definitely should mention that an important negotiation is in progress between the EU and the USA, called the Transatlantic Trade Investment Partnership. The aim is to create a huge common market with the two biggest economies as participants. This great process can lead to technological and economical development in several countries. One of the many advantages of free trade is that it helps companies supply more people worldwide so that they can make more profit and improve the GDP of their countries.
It seems that Dr. Halas truly knows what she's talking about. Free trade is not only important for the economic relations between the members of the EU, it also helps to improve the GDPs of the individual countries. Now, moving on to our correspondent Alberto in Spain, who will be interviewing Andrea, law student at a university, on her experience of the Erasmus exchange program.
Hi everybody. Today in our program we have a university student. Hello Andrea, how are you?
Hello, Alberto. I'm glad to be here, and I'll do my best to answer all your questions.
First of all, I think you are studying law. Can you tell us something about your Erasmus experience?
Yes, of course. This is my fourth and last year of my degree, and when I was doing the third year, I decided to do an Erasmus. At first, I thought of going to Russia because it's an interesting and beautiful country to travel to. But later, I realized that it would be quite difficult to live there, and I chose Italy instead.
I guess that you choose this country since it belongs to the European Union, which will make everything easier. Moreover, it's a peaceful and safe place.
Exactly.
Okay, now our listeners are leaving some questions in our Twitter account. Steven asks, why didn't you go to Istanbul? It's a very good city to go in a Erasmus, and it's very beautiful too.
Well, that is a really good place, but it doesn't belong to the European Union, so changing the currency is more complicated. It's easier if the country chosen had the euro as its official currency.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now it is Adrian's turn. The question is it easier to receive scholarships or grants from the European Union to go on Erasmus?
Oh yeah, of course. Now the EU is trying to help students with that kind of things like scholarships, and many people are getting these aids to improve their studies.
And that's all for today, cherished listeners. Thank you very much for your time and your words, Andrea. Let's go back to Ellie.
Thank you, Alberto and Andrea. Now let's travel to Germany and later Slovakia, where our reporters will be talking to local teenagers about their opinion on the European Union and its benefits.
Hi students, would you like to go abroad and study in another country? What you need is the Erasmus Plus program. With Erasmus Plus, you can go abroad for little money. So everybody can go there. This is your chance to go abroad. By the way, maybe the love of your life is waiting for you in this country. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and apply for the Erasmus Plus program. Believe me, you won't regret it. If you want to hear more about this program, don't turn off your radio and listen to the following introduction. Good luck, and never forget, Erasmus Plus, this is for your future.
In 1987, Erasmus Plus was founded by the EU. This program helps students who want to study a certain subject which may not be available in their country, or it helps to find a university abroad. Erasmus Plus even pays for a large part of the expenses abroad. You don't have to be a genius to make use of this offer. All you need is a B-level in the language the lectures are given in. So Erasmus Plus pays not only for your studies in countries belonging to the EU, it also provides opportunities to visit universities in Norway, Iceland, Turkey and Switzerland, and since 2003 with Erasmus Mundus in the whole world too. Every certificate will be accepted in every EU member state, and students who have participated in Erasmus Plus will have a 23% better chance to get a good job.
Excuse me, sir. May I ask you some questions about the European Union?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, let's start then. Do you know what special day it is today?
No, I'm sorry, I don't know.
Today is the day of the European Union.
Oh, I didn't know that. Good to know.
So let's begin. Do you know any advantages of being in the European Union?
Yes, I have been studying in Spain, and I really liked it. And you helped me with that. They gave me a grant to go there.
Oh yes, that's a big benefit of the EU. But did you know there are a lot more of them?
The EU has been working a lot for the peace in the world. Furthermore, they have done a lot for free trade. Because of the European Union, products of other countries are much cheaper because they don't have to pay taxes when the products are brought into other countries.
You seem to know very much about the European Union. That's nice. But did you know that because of the European Union, all borders are open and you can travel wherever and whenever you want?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, there are a lot of advantages. The European Union offers to its people. But that's enough for now. Thank you very much for this interview. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you too. I learned a lot about the European Union today, and I like it even better now. The EU is a very nice place to live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our music station.
Today we celebrate Europe's Day, and because of that we would like to listen to different opinions about the European Union from member countries.
Let's do it a bit differently. Who is the newest member of the EU?
Well, it seems to me that it's Bulgaria, but I'm not sure. It's Croatia, exactly.
Which countries founded the EU?
I think it was France, Belgium, Luxembourg, Italy, Netherlands, and one more, I think Germany, of course.
When was the EU founded?
Well, if I'm right, it was on the 1st of November 1993.
Why was it founded?
Well, to promote, for instance, peace, values of human rights, democracy, equality of all the people, and the well-being of its people.
Do you know any positive aspects about the EU?
Indeed, the main idea of forming a community of countries which cooperate is absolutely admirable. Every member gains plenty of benefits from this cooperation. For instance, free trade and removal of non-tariff barriers, free movement of labor and capital, and especially for us students is the most valuable advantage, the opinion to go and study abroad more easily.
Dear listeners, thank you for your attention to our special radio broadcasting in honor of the European Union's Day.
We hope you enjoyed and got to know some new facts about it. Thank you again and have a nice day!
It may be hard for you to stop and believe, but for you
We have learned something about benefits of Erasmus, which is a free program for university students who want to study abroad. One of the biggest benefits of Erasmus is that as one of the Erasmus students, you have 23% better chance at getting a job. Then we have heard an experience of a Spanish student who studied in Italy thanks to Erasmus. She chose Italy thanks to its benefits as a European country.
We've also heard some facts about European free trade between its countries, about important negotiations between EU and USA, which connects two biggest world economies. We've got to know about peace between EU countries. What's amazing is that the European Union still maintains peace even after two tragic world wars. There was also an interview with two Spanish students, and we were able to hear their definition of peace, what it means to them, and see their own perspective.
Thank you all for your contributions. That's it for today from us. Let's head back to Ellie and do not change the radio channel. See you next time with some more exciting news developments in the Comenius world.
Indeed, thank you all for tuning in today to celebrate Europe Day with us. Hopefully, we all have learned more about the European Union and can now appreciate the positive impact it has on our lives. Have a lovely day, all, and we'll be back next week, same time, on Audio Comenius. Goodbye.